Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Jediism 101. I had an interesting question on my last video, and I wanted to address it. And you can probably see it up here in the corner, one of these two here. If Jedi practice non-attachment, why are they so attached to the Jedi Code? So, interestingly enough, today's vow is going to be about the vow of attachment, but uh, I'm going to give that a precursor for tomorrow by answering your question today. Um, Jedi depends on it really depends on the era that you're talking about, which Jedi we're thinking of here. Whether it's the Old Republic, if it's the prequel trilogy, if it's the original trilogy, or of course the New Jedi Order, they all have a different view of what attachment really is. Um, I would think my personal opinion of the prequel Jedi, we're talking like Obi-Wan, Mace, young Anakin, that type of stuff. I believe they tried to practice a non-attachment, and this is where they failed, because they were so non-attached that they grew distant from everybody, including themselves. And I think losing that kind of touch was really kind of what was starting to really spell the downfall of the Jedi Order of that era. Now, specifically, specifically to your question about the Jedi Code, the reason that Jedi hang to it so much is the same reason that I believe that a Catholic holds to the Bible. Every person in the world, whatever denomination you are, Jedi, Sith, Catholic, Lutheran, Wicca, Buddhist, Taoist, um, Knight of the Old Code, whatever you want to call it, everybody has to have a basis for their morality, some kind of spot they can all go back to, and that's what makes them who they are. So it's not necessarily being attached to the code, it is words that we live by, it is a way of shaping our character. Um, whether it's the 8 lines of the Jedi Code, it's the several lines of the Code of Chivalry, if it's the 7 precepts of the samurai, if it is of Bushido, excuse me, thank you, if it is the 10 Commandments, these are things that shape who we are. And the reason the Jedi are the same way is because that is who they are. At the core teaching, no matter how different that Jedi become, as they grow and they learn in the world, they all start with the same base course. Actually, that's why I'm doing Jediism 101, because everybody who started at my temple, and not mine as in I owned it, but mine as where I belong, but everybody who starts there has to start with the same base. Here's where the base lies. Here's the code. Here's the teachings. Here's the vows. Here's the beliefs. Here's the tenets. You know, so everybody starts there. And then they can grow from there. Think of it like primary school, elementary school, whatever. We should all be starting out with the same lessons of reading, writing, arithmetic, history, social studies, the base to make a passable person in the world. And then as they grow older, their interests grow differently. And that's where we start really getting into what kind of history? How high is the math going to go? Are we just doing like English grammar, or are we looking at Shakespeare? But it all comes back down to where it started, the solid base of the pyramid. You can't, and if anything, Jedi cannot be Jedi without the code itself. Knowing the code, believing the code, living as best you can to that code within the person that you are. So I want to thank the person for asking a really good question that inspired this video. Tomorrow I will actually go over the vow of attachment, and I think you'll actually really enjoy it. All right, well, thank you very much, everybody. As always, make sure that you are drinking more water, eating clean food, getting some activity in, enjoying the fresh air, being kind to the environment, be kind to animals, being kind to the people that you meet every day, help out where you can, and always just do it just because you deserve it. Please do be kind to yourself. Thank you very much, and may the force be with you.